There's an idea in biology called carcinization. It's the idea that non-crab crustaceans eventually will start to evolve into crab-like forms. And in Valorant we are seeing a similar sort of thing happen, but instead of crabs, it's Paper Rex. And to explain what the hell I'm talking about, we're going to take a look at this game, G2 versus NRG, because G2 destroyed the current world champions, and they played some comps and ideas that look quite, well, Paper Rex. But this is so wild because G2 of the past are perhaps the actual antithesis of Paper Rex. Whereas Paper Rex are super aggressive, G2 are very measured. Whereas Paper Rex like to be on the fly and do things all the time, G2 like their set plays and doing structured things that they've practiced many times before. Whereas Paper Rex will take every timing under the sun and try and win rounds on their own a lot of the times, G2 will always wait for help and play as a pack. And so if G2 are now starting becoming Paper Rex, then everyone is starting to become Paper Rex. But if you too want to play like Paper Rex, well then now's your chance, because you can start to by joining the Gosu Academy. Because the Gosu Academy have revamped their 10-man sessions, including things like a Stratbook Sunday, where you actually get given a playbook to run certain strats from, or a Coach Class Tuesday, where one of Gosu's coaches will join you in the actual game and talk you through what they're thinking at that moment in time, or you can do the retake and clutch simulation workshops. It's something that we've all wanted Riot to add in for a very long time, but they won't, but Gosu Academy will for you, and you can practice those situations. And so if you are genuinely serious about getting better at Valorant in a fairly short amount of time, then the Gosu Academy genuinely is the best place, because you can learn from some very high-skilled coaches about what is going wrong for you and can practice in situations with other like-minded players who actually also want to improve. And so go and sign up for the Gosu Academy today and use code TMV at checkout, and thanks to the Gosu Academy for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to it. So now let's actually dive into this map of Pearl and talk about G2's defense side here and how they basically looked like Paper Rex. And again, it does start somewhat with their comp, right? Obviously, the Phoenix on Pearl is a very Paper Rex thing to do. So that's the first part of it. And if we just take a look at the map, we're starting here with round number 6. Just take a look instantly here at how quickly they get onto aggressive angles, right? So instantly we push out. Look how quickly Baby Bay here on Yoru is pushing out. Look at Leaf, you know, instantly looking to solo challenge down B, right? Baby Bay is already there. We're 10 seconds into the round, right? So we've been super aggro here. We're looking for a fight on B long as well on our own, right? We're getting really good info here. It is just going to be a full B push from NRG in this round, right? But now we're in position and Tailwall is about to come in. Now, I want you now to think, how would G2 of old play this round? Right, it's a full gun round for both sides. There's a tail ult coming in onto the site, and they have some very big ults themselves. Right, they've got Astra ult, Sova ult, Yoru ult, G2 here to potentially get back in on the site. Just think about how the old G2 might have played this spot. But then let's take a look now at how they actually played this spot.
Take from G2 all over the B side. Leaf, he wants to fight in the site right now. But he's got no choice. He can't fight holes, and that's going to be a good enough trade now. Jaw wants to flash his way out, but Hunter's Fury's going to be cutting through and getting damage on him before he could deal with Scuba tucked in the corner. Valorant, they're not far behind. Has the inkling, has the idea that the play is there, and a clone is shot. It's an easy 3-piece. So Rourke will see what he can get, and he'll get nothing.
So yeah, if you think like me, there is absolutely no way old G2 would have played this spot like this, right? They would have gone old G2. Well, we've got some very, very nice retake ults here, so let's just play for that. I would assume that is how old G2 would have thought, right? There's a tail ult coming in here. We know this is probably going to be a full B hit because we've already, you know, had some information from a dart out here in mid. We've had Baby Bay push down A, so we're pretty sure this is, you know, likely going to be a full B hit at this point. Let's just wait for our, you know, Astra ult, very good here, right? Yoru ult with a Sova ult combined can get a lot of kills, right? Let's just wait for these two guys to fully rotate. We'll play a 5v5 and we'll go from there, right? They decide to, you know, not do that at all. Right, they don't use any of their ults in this round. They just look at how aggro we're fighting. I mean, look at Leaf here. This is actually crazy. The drone is coming in. He does not care. Right, look at him. He does not care. He's fighting like somewhat ahead of his setup here. Right, if you look at where his kind of little veto interceptor is here, it actually is very far back, almost as if they have set up for like a somewhat of a retake setup here or a deeper setup. Right, he's fighting ahead of that. It doesn't even destroy the drone. He's just out here fighting, and he gets a kill. He gets traded, but Valon's there with him on the site fighting. Right, Joke's trying to fight in as well. He's trying to run in, actually dies to a Sova ult just there. But we don't stop fighting, right? These guys come in here. you know, they're not waiting, even though they have the spike, right? Again, at this point in the round, you could simply say, hey guys, the spike has been dropped right here. You know, they have to come and get it. Just chill, just wait, you know, just let's see if they come and get it, right? Like, we're in a 3v2. Again, I feel like old G2, that's probably what they would have done. And they still have the 3 ults that they had before. Do they do that? No. Valorant charging forward. Charge forward, right? And it's not until they get to the 3v1 and it does settle down that they then decide, okay, you know, now we don't need to int the round. Let's just win. And we saw this continuously throughout this map. Now let's take a look at round number 8 here. Again, a full gun round for both sides. And, I mean, these guys are just going to start aggro pushing forward straight away.
Dude, look at the money on NRG. They're players with 0.
Oh my god, that was crispy. All right, traded instantly though. Jaw tries to push up into that plaza, and Baby wants to swing off this as well.
Mata is in danger. He took some shock dart damage as well. Just 20 HP. He is in there to the link as NRG trying to work down B long, but they're so spread across the map that they can't go for it right now.
So again, this play at the start, I mean, I've seen Jing do this before. This feels like a very Jing play, right? Jogamo gets one. He does get traded there. Baby is instantly looking to, you know, be aggressive again. I mean, he solo swings this right from the other side. Look at the map. There's no util with this. There's no nothing. This is not very G2. And if he gets punished here, we say, what the hell are you doing, right? Why are you solo swinging out on your own? But this is just how they played the entire game. And it continually caught NRG clearly off guard because, yeah, this is not how G2 play. And Baby here is eventually going to get this kill on Mata. I mean, but even look, like, after he gets this kill, I'll show you what Leaf did as well, right? Just in terms of how he played this round out as well. So this is just after Jomo's died and Baby TP's back. Take a look at Leaf here, right? So they drone back out towards Art. Look at what he does. He just starts, he instantly just runs up here back onto this angle, right? Again, he's playing Veto. He's ahead of his setup here because that's how aggro they were playing. Again, I would say, like, maybe they actually need to adjust their setups to, you know, think about how they're actually playing because that doesn't actually make a lot of sense. I would say that's not great to be doing that. But again, look at Baby. Does he stop? He gets that kill on Mana. Look at him. And he is going to get punished here, but this is just to show you, like, this is how they were playing. And again, old G2, they would have cut someone's head off for doing that kind of stuff, right? You would not live on this team if you were doing that kind of stuff that Baby just did there. But that's how they played this game, and they won this game very cleanly.
Scuba just posted to see if anyone
So disciplined. Oh.
Far, but that's free for Trent. Intending on posting up on his own.
It's just sick discipline from Trent there. Holds the line, sees the player, eventually caught out, but that was a guided salvo that was going to force him out of positioning either way.
And even at the end of the round there's a choice from Valen that, again, I just feel like he would never have made, really, in the past. Or maybe certainly not when G2 were playing well, but he did in this game, right? Which is, yeah, Trent is going to die here after a guided salvo comes into heaven. And, you know, forces him to reposition. And so now we end up in a 2v2. Now, they don't know Valen's here, so he gets his first kill. But now we're in a 2v1, and you know, your teammate is still some way away from you here. You know where the last guy is, but he just challenges him, right? Like, and again, if he loses this fight, you know, they could lose the round. Leaf is not quite there yet. So again, normally you would say, and again, I would say, in general, like, this isn't a great decision from Valorant, right? He shouldn't peek out the second time. Getting the first one is fine. Now just chill, right? Now just chill and wait till Leaf is at least there before you coordinate a swing. But I think this is just, they were almost like so far into the mentality that it meant that no matter what the situation, they were most likely going to do something like Valorant just did. And to be fair to them, it worked in this specific instance because they were also shooting quite well. But then even at the start of the very next round, this is a full eco here pretty much for NRG. Take a look at how aggressive G2 are in this.
And look at NRG's economy right now. Terrible.
Yeah, Mata just trying to get ahead of it. Hope to dig something out, but G2 were waiting. They knew they'd be colliding. Oh, really? It's like that. All right, Joe looking a little different out there. Go to the right. I got one.
So there are some cool things in here, right? But and again, you might say that actually this isn't that great, TMV. You know, it's not that great to pop a Phoenix ult in this spot against, you know, a very bad buy. We do get some nice interceptor value there, right? To win this fight out. That was kind of cool. And to be fair, I think they did use the veto pretty well, and we got some nice Phoenix flashes, and you could tell that, you know, this fight looks pretty well practiced. Now, using the ulti, you might say, is a bit too strong, and it does, again, feel a bit like, you know, unleash the Paper Rex. The thing is, it doesn't end there, though, because these guys, you know, I mean, hey, it's a 5v3 against, you know, a bunch of classics essentially, they stick around and they actually die. And again, you might be thinking, oh, that doesn't look so great, right? But again, this is how G2 were playing these spots in this game.
Oh, these shocked hearts, man.
Enemy tag.
All right, Trent does know what's going to happen here. He knows NRG still looking to end days. Kiko running it in. Trent, is he trying to feed orbs?
He's trying to style on them.
Yeah, okay.
He's trying to style on them.
I respect it.
And he's done it.
But now let's finish here with the last round and a half, round number 12. And the reason that I want to show you this one is because this one is kind of a round that bucks the trend a little bit in terms of how G2 play it. And it looks a bit like older G2, perhaps, in the way that they play this round, right? So if we take a look at the map, basically, they are going to play for a full retake here because they tried to be aggressive down B, but as you're about to see, NRG are just going towards A, right? And it's going to be just an A exec here from NRG. So they're just on the wrong side of the map. As NRG are coming in here, you will see that they are going to take the site. They're then going to solve ult as well. And G2 basically are somewhat forced to play this more set retake style. But you will see as well that it is going to work out very well for G2.
Okay, little schmoobs. One more shot though, and Valorant is able to avoid it. So, fighting fit for what may be a flood into the A side. Okay, Mana's down. He was very low already, to be fair. Hunter's Fury this time coming away from G2. It's Trent lining him up and lighting them up. That's Kiko, barely alive.
So I say retake, but the spike actually never goes down. It's more of a pre-take really here from G2. But this does look more like old G2, right? Like we're playing around our ults. You know, we're giving them some level of respect, but we're waiting until we're in the best possible situation, right? We've got 4 players here, 1 player on the flank, right? We're waiting till everyone gets there before we kind of try to go back in here. And then when we do, we're using, you know, our util to our advantage to slowly kind of, you know, clear everything through. So we get a dart back here. We're going to get a solve roll off the Yoru ult as well. You know, we got players now pushing up with the Yoru ult and we're getting very good information. So Leaf then swings out, gets this kill in main. That's where the spike is dropped just here. You know, we're solve rolling these guys as well, and they end up in a very bad situation, right? We actually go 1-for-1 on the trade there as well. Very old G2, you know, kind of stuff is what we're seeing from this position. And I think that this, right, what we just saw from G2, if they can combine kind of, you know, the Paper X disrespect aggro plays with then every so often, you know, throwing in the discipline old G2 as well that they should still have because, you know, that's been their identity for so long at this point. If they can merge the two, basically, I would say that's what Paper X were like when they were winning Toronto, right? They were Paper X, but they were Paper X with a brain. If G2 can now do both sides and be disrespectful, but also know when to slow it down, they could be an extremely dangerous team.
Recovery, but I believe has been spotted in A main.
Trent, yet again aware of this Sewer's flank, and that's a free kill. Kiko has 0 HP to work with. Scuba